Much. That is just absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, East Hawaii. And I see Paul coming in just in time. Yes. I didn't get to speak with him, but he'll understand in a minute. Okay, I am popping. There we go. That's better. Thank you so much. I'm Reverend Beverley. I am the spiritual director here at Center for Spiritual Living East Hawaii, and I am so delighted to be here on this beautiful, beautiful morning and to see some of our new faces, to see all of your faces. I won't use the word old because that's not appropriate. And I'm just delighted that we're all here together in community, and especially right now that we are celebrating all the seasons of life. Thank you so much, Karen, for your creative thought and bringing the solstice in, because I didn't get it into mine today. So that was really great for that. But what we are going to honor from right here is Hanukkah. Hanukkah does begin today. It goes through the 26th. And it is the reaffirming of the ideals of Judaism and commemorates in particular the rededication of the Second Temple of Jerusalem by lighting of the candles, the menorah, and on each day of the festival. And as the story goes, and most of us, we all know the story already, 1 day's worth of oil miraculously lasted for 8 days. That's why the Hanukkah menorah has 9 candles, one for each of the 8 days and one to light the rest. What a wonderful festival. And here are a couple of words spoken. There are 2 ways of spreading light: to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. That is from Edith Wharton. And from Raphael Goldstein, at this time of year when the sun is most hidden, the holiday of Hanukkah celebrates the rays of hope and light. Often it is through simple and unrecognized miracles that we're able to feel the warmth of hope and light. So I know whether or not you celebrate or not, we are all part of this beautiful cycle of darkness and light, just as Karen wrote with us today. And so as we move into the service, you know I have something to share, a funny story. Just remember that Ode to Joy. So we're going to go to the little bit of the symphony in all of us. So, you know, Mozart passed, and a couple of days later he was buried in the churchyard. And a day or two after that, one of the priests was walking through the graveyard, and he heard the sound coming from Mozart's grave. And he was like, what is that? So as he got a little closer, he was listening, and it sounded a little like music, but he was terrified. So off he ran, he went over to find the mayor, brought the mayor over, the mayor's listening to it. He leans in kind of deep into the grave, and he hears it, and he goes, you know, it sounds like Mozart's 9th Symphony. And he goes a little deeper, listens, and the music changed. He goes, hang on a second, I think that's the 8th Symphony. And he goes, and this one's the 7th. And as the time went on, it was the 6th and the 5th. And he got up and he spoke to the crowd around him. And he goes, oh, listen, just don't worry about it. It's only Mozart decomposing. I knew it. I love it. When I get the groans, I know I've hit the exact, perfect joke. All right. So today we're going. This whole year we've been working with everyday wonder, living everyday wonder, seeing the things in all the small wonders around us. This month is all about community, and today it's about the ode to joy. And so what we always come, as soon as we hear that, we hear the song, we hear the vocals and everything. So I'm going to begin. I'm going to ask Barbara, can you give me a couple of notes?
Well, what's hanging in my mind is what Chrissy just sang. If we could say like, dear Lord, dear Lord.
anything.
Do, mi, so, mi, do.
Perfect. Yes, thank you. So what we just had right now is we just had two singers, right? Two singers that have these beautiful voices. And they sound fantastic. Now we bring them together into a choir, and you could even hear when your voices joined, how there was just this other feeling that came up. There's a lift of joy in that. Now when we look at a symphony, and we look at each and every one of the instruments in that symphony, they all come together in their unique ways to make the music work. Right? Individually, are they all magnificent? Absolutely. Now when we bring them together and we get that feeling and that joy and that energy, there is something even greater that we can know and feel within that. There is, in its ownness, an orchestra is a community of individual instruments that play together. I want to be the triangle. That's just who I am. You know, I would say that I could be the trombone, but I am the triangle because I just get to go beep every now and then, and I love my position as the triangle. So we can see and we can do and understand how when we all sing together, how this works. So how do we do this in community? How do we do this when we're all so extremely different? We all have different experiences growing up. We all have different filters. All of us, every single one of us, is unique in our own way and perfect as we are, but also perfect as we are not. Remember, there's a lot of itchiness that we have, but you know, we just want to see how it is that in community we can come together. The ideal, and you see, invitations galore. They just fly everywhere. Oh my goodness. Wow. So, when in Science of Mind, we look at the whole. We want to see the wholeness. We recognize wholeness in, through, and as everybody. But however, there's always an illusion of separation or conflict or disagreements. And these things are there to call our attention to it so that we can bring it up to either heal it from a past or to find a way to move forward through all of this. You will often hear me say that community is like a stone tumbler. We all come together and we polish our edges. This is something that we want to do. We want to come together and sing in community. We want to see the wonderment in each and every person. We want to live maybe as a tapestry where we all have a thread, and without that thread there's going to be something missing. But as we weave our lives and our understandings and our desires together, we create this magnificent fabric. We can also see ourselves, and I thank Joan for bringing this to my attention, from Mark Nepo. He speaks about community as a wheel, and all of us are spokes in the wheel. And this is how he says it. Imagine that each of us is a spoke in an infinite wheel. And though each spoke is essential in keeping the wheel whole, no two spokes are alike. The room of the wheel is that living sense of community, family, and relationship. But the common hub, where all the spokes join, is the one center where all the souls meet. And that unexpected wholeness that more of us each day can know, but common to all. That moment of unity is the atom of God. So when we look at our beautiful community and we see that each spoke on that wheel, each one of us, is so totally important to create this, to bring this about, to bring it forward, to raise each one of us up to a greater level of understanding of who we are, because we know that mirror is right out there to show us exactly who we are. And we can do this in community, but there takes a willingness. There takes a willingness for us to go there. There takes a willingness for us to understand that whoever we are important with all of our flaws, with all of our cracks, with all of our love, with all of our wonderments. There's this beautiful story about this woman who would walk every single day from her home down to the well. And she would have 2 buckets on her shoulders, nice big rod, 2 buckets. And as she walked down, she would go and fill both of the buckets. But walking back up, there was one bucket that had a crack in it. And she'd walk up, and every day when she got there, the one bucket was full, and the other bucket was half empty. Well, this bucket that was always half empty started to feel really bad, started to feel like they were not doing what they were supposed to do to carry the water well on the way back. So one day they were down at the well, and the bucket spoke with the woman and said, "Why don't you just put me aside? You don't need me anymore. I am not doing the work that you need. I am cracked, I am broken, and every day that you come, you only get half of what I can carry. Replace me with a fresh bucket so that you can have your fill." She went, "Oh no. No. What you don't see is the value of the walk home. Have you noticed that on your side of the path, the flowers are blossoming?" So remember that, even if you come to community and you feel like you are not worthy for whatever reason, maybe you're just having an awful day and you want to shut yourself down, but you come in anyway. You are watering the blooms and the blossoms. You are watering every single one of us. You are a blessing exactly as you are, exactly as you are not. Remember that. The not part is important, because if we were all perfect in the same way, that would be pretty dull. I mean, just take a look around. Take a look around at each and every one of you. Your magnificence is in who you are. Are we all alike in that deep inner light within the cave of our heart? Absolutely. That is the soul. That is the hub of the wheel. That is the connection to the divine. That is untouched, unchangeable, always present in every single person, always. That's where we connect. That's where we come together. But in all of this, there needs to be a willingness to come. There needs to be a willingness to give of yourself. Dr. Ernest Holmes, he says it very beautifully. We want to give fully of ourselves. He goes, we should give of ourselves in love and in service to others, in a spirit of generosity and good fellowship. To refuse to give is to refuse to receive. For everything moves in circles. Real giving is in the givingness of self. A kind word, a thoughtful act, perhaps just a smile can help lighten the burdens of others. It's that simple. It is absolutely that simple, but it takes a willingness to give of yourself, to understand and know your worthiness in the giving of it. And then there's another aspect to community. It's that place where we peeve each other off. You like the word peeve? I like the word peeve. I'm not going to go any further with that word, no matter what you say. Why does this happen? We come to church. It's loving. It's giving. We are all sacred in this very moment, and yet we bring our humanness with us. Well, of course we do. That's who we are. Are we going to get frustrated and irritated with people around us? Are there things that are going to push our buttons? Are there things that are going to rub up against us? Of course there are. We're human. But we bring ourselves to this point in a place of safety because we know that everybody around us is going to be patient and understanding, for they know their flaws too. And we're going to come together and we're going to know, remember those unconditional love statements where I made? Unconditional love is not making everything okay all of the time. It's working when things are itchy. Unconditional love is standing next to each other when things look awful. When you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that person showed up like that today. Really? You go over with patience and understanding. You take them back in, because the one thing we don't do is we don't close our hearts. No matter what is going on, and that is the toughest thing. Michael Singer spoke about it in The Untethered Soul. No matter what is going on, no matter how hurt you feel, you never close your heart, ever. So community, we want it to be a safe space in spiritual community. Is not about eliminating discomfort, much as we would love to. As much as we would love this to be like always smooth sailing, calm waters, put up the sail, lie back in the sun. Yeah, unfortunately we're humans, we come together. So safe space in spiritual community is not about eliminating discomfort. It is providing a supportive place where we can experience the inevitable discomfort of deep personal introspection and spiritual growth with support and understanding. I'm going to read that one again. That's from Dr. Jim Lockhart, who is one of our spiritual directors for CSL. Safe space in spiritual community is not about eliminating discomfort. It is providing a supportive place where we can experience the inevitable discomfort of deep personal introspection and spiritual growth with support and understanding. Woo! Any bit of vibration going on? I can feel it. I can feel that vibration. It's like I can hear in the back of my head, oh crap. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to be very gentle with myself first. And then we can be gentle with others. But here is one of the most important parts that we need to do. We need to set boundaries. Yeah? Boundaries are wonderful things. Boundaries are sane. Boundaries are safe. But let's not confuse walls with boundaries. Two entirely different things. And it's so often when we come in and there's a situation, we go, whack, my wall's up. Well, walls keep people out. Boundaries show them the door in. Walls keep people out. Boundaries show them how to come in. Boundaries are wonderful. They are good. They can be gentle. They don't have to be harsh. They don't have to be, oh, my boundaries are up, stay away from me. No, boundaries are like, you can be sure. And they're flexible. You can change your boundary. You can go, hey, yeah, come on in. I'm good with this today. Not today. I've got to keep a little bit of a safer space. So we keep our boundaries, because in keeping a boundary, we get to be healthy in the way that we navigate with each other. Because what we really want to do is we want to find a way to bring all of our instruments together. We want to find a way of understanding each other. We want to find the way where we can be safe and gentle with ourselves. There's one of the boundaries that I found today. It's one of the great things. It's a gift. It's called the gift of pause. Now that might not sound like a boundary, but it is a really nice way to put it up nice and clear. It's called the gift of pause. Pause before you let all those words jump out of your mouth. Pause before you react in your actions. And pause before you believe what has been said. What a great way to keep yourself in an environment where you can be healthy and you can look at other people in a healthy way, because you have given yourself that moment of pause. It's the moment where that button gets to release before we react about it. Is this easy? Hell no, it is not. Is it worth it? Absolutely. In every single situation. Even sometimes in the joyous ones where you want to go, wow! And you go, ah, wow, that's fantastic. It's all, and the pause is moment, but it is spectacular. So I'm giving you that gift today, the gift of pause. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you, as you move through this week, to fully step into the wonderment of community. Step into the wonderment of the itchiness. Feel it. Receive it. Don't necessarily have to believe it, but receive it. What is it? What is it bringing to you? Where is it that you can rub up against somebody? Yeah, we can get nice and toasty and warm. Or you can rub up and go, wow, that doesn't feel good. Let me see what I can do to polish that edge in myself. Where is it that we can shine the light? Where is it that we can just be? Where is it that we can just be safe? Here is one of the places where I feel safe. Because I know that no matter what, this community, no matter, and excuse this word, how much I can mess up, we stand together in an unconditional love. Because we understand that we're all on our spiritual journey and we're all growing. And so we rub up a little closer. We don't step away. We step in further and we rub a little deeper. So in closing today, I have a little piece from you, because ultimately we do this for the joy of the divine. We are here for the joy of the divine. We are here to sing the ode of joy of the divine. So I have a little piece from Rachel Naomi Reverend, who did the kitchen table wisdom. I brought that book out a couple of times. It's been very close to me lately. I had thought joy to be rather synonymous with happiness, but it seems now to be far less vulnerable than happiness. Joy seems to be a part of unconditional will to live, not holding back because life may not meet our preferences and expectations. Joy seems to be a function of the willingness to accept the whole and to show up to meet with whatever there is. It has a kind of invincibility that attachment to any particular outcome would deny us. Rather than the warrior who fights towards a specific outcome and therefore is haunted by the specter of failure and disappointment, it is the lover drunk with the opportunity to love despite the possibilities of loss, the player for whom playing has become more important than winning or losing. The willingness to win or lose moves us out of an adversarial relationship to life and into a powerful kind of openness. From such a position, we can make a greater commitment to life, not only pleasant life or comfortable life or an idea of life, but all life. Joy seems more closely related to aliveness than to happiness. Thank you.